Hey everyone, Cody here. And today, I'll make this video quick. I just want to talk about shipping prices for two recent paintings that I sent. And I'm only doing this because it's kind of still in the back of my mind. And I wanted to share this information with you about shipping paintings. Now, I'm going to say kind of the sizes of the two paintings and some of the challenges I ran into and how I shipped those paintings, what the costs were, and what I used to ship the paintings. Okay? Now, just to right off the bat, both of the paintings were here in the U.S. They were two different states. I believe one was Massachusetts, one was Georgia. I live in Arizona in the U.S., so both of these were within the U.S. However, what made these paintings challenging to ship was the size of the paintings. I actually shipped the paintings themselves big, and it cost me a lot. So I wanted to share that information with you. Okay, first off, let's talk about the first painting that I sold. It was a large Pollock style painting. This painting was 4 foot by 5 foot, okay? So 48 inches by 60 inches. This is a massive painting. This is actually the largest painting that I have ever sold and shipped. Now, I've sold large paintings before, locally, or I've sold large paintings on canvas that was not stretched out. But this was the largest painting I've ever had to ship. And man, this thing was expensive to ship, okay? So, and I'm sharing this information so that if you plan on selling paintings, you have an idea that if you go big, it's gonna be expensive to ship, and you need to factor that in to the price of your paintings, okay? So here's the thing. When I shipped that first painting, that large painting, here's how I did it, and I'll talk about the prices in just a second. So in order to ship the painting, what I had to do was I had to buy 2 large mirror boxes from U-Haul and tape them together. So basically I had to kind of sandwich them and like overlap them over the middle, and then tape those bad boys together to cover both ends of the painting and the middle and to protect it. Okay, so it actually took 2 separate boxes, 2 large boxes taped together to cover the entire painting. Now, the reason I almost always use U-Haul boxes to ship most of my paintings in, at least my mid-sized paintings, like 2 to 4 feet, and in this case, 5 foot. But I tend to use U-Haul boxes, one, because I know they're gonna be in stock, so I already know that I can get them. Plus, I already know the prices of the boxes. They're usually $6 for the smaller one and like $9 to $10 for the larger one. So they're not super expensive boxes, and I already know that cost, so I can just kind of factor that in. I just factor like $15 in for the cost of the box itself, for one. That's why I tend to use U-Haul boxes. 2, they have these mirror boxes. So they have a smaller or medium mirror box, and then they have a large mirror box. And the reason I buy these is because they are they're very long and they're wide, but the depth of them is very small. So it's usually like 3 to 4 inches. So that's perfect because you're shipping a painting that is also about the same thing. Now the painting is going to be a little bit smaller, so I tend to just overcompensate with that gap with extra bubble wrap. So I'm just kind of really filling in that box so that that painting doesn't get damaged if it moves around in the box, but the box is a good shape for it, so I don't have to go out and find a custom box. I don't have to do all these things. I've tried looking at the post office, I've tried looking at department stores or packing places, and a lot of places just don't have boxes that fit that. But going to U-Haul, buying these mirror boxes has worked out phenomenally for me for my mid-sized paintings. So for this particular painting, this large Pollock style painting, which was Requiem of Summer. So that is actually a Pollock style painting that I did here on the channel. So if you just look up that video, Requiem of Summer, it is actually that painting, and sold it to an awesome guy. Anyway, to ship this painting, what I did was I took 2 of these large mirror boxes and then kind of overlapped them at the middle, tape those bad boys together really securely, and that is how I shipped out the painting. Now, to actually tell you how I ship paintings, I'll just clarify that real quick. Essentially what I do, just know that when I ship a painting, I am paranoid about that bad boy getting broken. I'm just overly cautious when I ship things. I don't like to run any risks of any damage whatsoever. If I can minimize that damage, I try to do that as much as possible. I'm almost like paranoid that something's going to break. So I actually overcompensate with how much packing material I use. And it has served me well. Every painting I've ever shipped has not been damaged, knock on wood. But my point is that I'm overly cautious. So here's what I do. Here's how I have this is my method, right? So essentially, first off, I'll wrap the painting in glass-lined paper. You can get glass-lined paper from Blick Art Materials. You can get it online. You can get it from Amazon. I actually have a link in the description area that, is an affiliate link. But if you use it, you can buy glass-lined paper on Amazon. I really don't care where you buy it, but glass-lined paper is great for wrapping the painting in first, because glass-lined paper is going to protect it, and it's not acidic, so it's not going to leak any harmful materials on it or anything like that. It's going to protect that painting. So I wrap the painting, at least the face of the painting, in glass-lined paper, and then I tape it to the wooden frame in the back. This will protect it from any of the other packing materials. Next, what I tend to do is, for larger paintings, I just go ahead and start wrapping in bubble wrap. I actually do at least 1 or 2 layers of small bubble wrap, and then I will go over it again with large bubble wrap. And I just wrap it enough times in the large bubble wrap that it fills up the box, so it's not going to move around. So even if there's a gap in the box when I bought the box, when I ship it out, there's almost no gap, because I have used enough large bubble wrap that it fills those gaps. And even if there's like gaps in the box when I'm done filling it, I'll just kind of pack some extra bubble wrap in there. I just love bubble wrap. It's fairly inexpensive. Never use packing peanuts ever. Okay, so please do not ever use packing peanuts. One, if the box breaks open, they just spill everywhere. There's such a mess. Even when someone pulls the painting out, it's a mess. It's a nightmare. Please don't use them. If you're going to use anything, use extra like saran wrap, or not saran wrap, but plastic wrap, or use large bubble mailers or something like that. Don't use peanuts. They're so bad, and they actually will push up against the surface of the painting and kind of leave imprints. So you don't want to use them. So anyways, I do glass-lined paper followed by little bubble wrap, followed by large bubble wrap, and that's how I ship them. And then I just make sure that the corners are secured with tape and covered with that bubble wrap. I just overlap it a little bit when I roll it, and then I just kind of tape those corners over with the bubble wrap, and then I ship that bad boy out. Now, if I want a little bit more protection on the sides, what I'll do is I'll actually put little sheets of cardboard in the sides of the box to just kind of make it a little sturdier on the outsides. And that's it. That's how I ship them. Now, I know I've done videos on how to make cardboard corners. I don't usually do that. I have done it, and I can do it sometimes, especially if I'm shipping like a framed painting, so something with glass. Sometimes I'll put like cardboard corners on that, or I will do cardboard corners if there's not a lot of room in the box or whatever, and the bubble wrap, I can't really get a lot of bubble wrap in there, so the corners I feel like are unprotected. Then I'll do cardboard corners, because I can kind of make these little cardboard corners, put it over and tape those bad boys on, and it kind of keeps everything together and gives it just a little bit extra protection. So I will do that if there's not a lot of room, but normally I just do glass-lined, small bubble wrap, large bubble wrap. And that's how I ship my paintings. That's how I shipped both of these paintings. So let's talk about the prices and how I did this. So, okay, like I said, that's how I shipped the painting. Let's talk about prices for this large painting. I don't remember the weight on the large painting, and that's probably bad because I should be able to tell you that. But I think a large painting by itself, that size, I think it's like 15 pounds, right? Something like that. It's not super heavy, but it's considerably heavy for a painting. And then you add all the materials, packing materials, probably like 20 pounds or so to ship, 20, 25, somewhere in there. Now, that's not usually the issue with sending through USPS or FedEx or UPS or any of these things. Here's what I've learned. USPS, the United States Postal Service, is generally the cheapest of all three. USPS, FedEx, and UPS. I've never used DHL, and that's more specialty. So USPS is usually the cheapest of the three. However, the problem with USPS comes with the fact that USPS only does medium to small packages, so they would not even ship this particular painting. I took it to the post office. People gave me strange looks. I talked to the people. They said, well, that's way too large. We're not even touching it. Okay, so then I took it to FedEx, called FedEx. They told me it was going to be over $400 to ship this painting because it was so large. So how did I end up sending it? I actually was able to go through my work. I work for a roastery, roasting coffee, and I talked to my boss. My company was actually able to send it for me because they have a company account, so it was much cheaper. It's like $150, I think it came out to be, to ship that painting. So I just paid through work basically, and I was able to send it that way. So it ended up costing about $150. That is a lot for shipping. Just know that's quite a bit for shipping. So just keep that in mind, okay? FedEx told me $400, and the last time I ever asked, UPS told me 400. And the last time I ever asked FedEx something about a pricing of a similar item, their prices were higher. So I wasn't even going to go the route of FedEx if I could avoid it. So that was the large painting, $400 something to ship that large painting. So then we come to the smaller painting. So the next painting that I sold was actually a set. It was a framed painting and then a actual regular size painting. The regular size painting was a 2 foot by 4 foot painting, so 24 by 48 inches. I believe that's what the size was. And then there was also a frame painting. Did the same thing. I shipped them the same way that I did the other one, wrapped in bubble wrap, glass iron, more bubble wrap, and then cardboard on the sides to protect it because I didn't want the glass to break. Shipped those out. This package was obviously a lot smaller. However, it was still large to the USPS. So I ended up sending this one through USPS, and it cost me quite a bit to send, more than I wanted to pay for it, but I was eager to get it out because I was kind of running out of time, and I didn't want to have to go through my work again because they had already helped me once, and I didn't want to abuse that. This was all within the span of a month. So I sold that next painting. Okay, so that box was like 33 by 48 inches. So 33 inches by 48 inches. USPS did accept it, but it was $200 to ship. $200, which is, again, quite a bit to ship a box that size. And I'm pretty sure I've shipped paintings smaller than, or for less than that, to other places. However, they said that it was still considered oversized, although they did take that one. If I had gone through my work, I probably could have got it down to 100 or less. So FedEx probably would have charged about the same price, if not more. But I didn't go to FedEx, so I couldn't say how much they would have charged. Now, I want to talk about the first painting I've ever shipped. The first painting I ever shipped was 2 feet by 3 feet, so it was even smaller than these other ones. I shipped it internationally to Singapore, and it was just over $100. I think it was like 125 maybe at the most. And that was like 125. Now that was a 2 foot by 3 foot, not 2 by 4 or anything large like that. So just keep that in mind. Wrapped it, shipped it the same way pretty much. So what is the point out of all this? Well, it's expensive to ship paintings, and you need to keep that in mind. So just keeping in mind how much I spend, I'm sure you can probably get better deals, maybe depending on where you live, or how you kind of, maybe minimize the packing sizes of the boxes. But just keep that in mind. Through the USPS, for a box that was 33 by 48 inches, it cost me $200 to ship in the US. So my point out of all of that is to keep that in mind. When you price your paintings, your artworks, keep that in mind, that it is expensive to ship these paintings, okay? Now, again, you can probably find cheaper ways, but I'm gonna just level with you. My paintings were underpriced because I was trying to get rid of them, okay? So I purposely put a bunch of my paintings on sale so that I could sell them, okay? So I still technically made a profit, but after shipping materials and fees going out and stuff like that, the profit margin was very slim. But I'm okay with that. I'm not here to make a ton of money with my paintings. I just enjoy the fact that people would even buy them, right? So keep that in mind. The numbers I've given you, a 33 by 48 box that I shipped through USPS was just over $200, and a package that I wanted to ship through FedEx that was 5 feet by 4 feet, the USPS would not even take, and FedEx wanted to charge me $400. So keep these numbers in mind. My suggestion is this: try to find a consistent way to ship your paintings, or if you really can't foot that kind of bill, here's what somebody else that I know that I talked to after all of this. I talked to a professional artist on Instagram. Her name is Jude Remedios. I'm actually going to link to her YouTube channel in the description area below. She is fairly new to YouTube. She's been painting for a long time, but she's fairly new to YouTube. She has a small following, so I really want to show her some love because she's just a phenomenal artist, but she's super nice. And I actually talked to her on Instagram about this issue that I was having. I was like, hey, how do you ship these large paintings? And she told me. So I'm going to link to the description so that you can maybe check out her stuff and show her some support. But here's the thing. Basically, what she told me is that for larger paintings, and I'm assuming this is like 3 feet and up or something like that, maybe 2 feet and up, what she actually does is she actually takes those paintings off of those wooden frames that they come on. So say this was the painting, right? So if this was the painting, she would actually take this off. So she'd take all these staples off. She'd take off the painting off of that wooden frame, and then she would just roll it up and ship it rolled. And so she actually sells the paintings at a really decent price to the consumer because she actually sells them rolled. So unstretched and rolled, she puts them in a shipping tube and she ships them out, and she said the shipping is super cheap that way. Now I know this is true because I've shipped a painting in a shipping tube that was like 4 foot long, but it was kind of heavy because it was a whole painting, but it was just canvas, no frame, nothing, just rolled canvas. I shipped it out and it was like $70. So, and this is a large painting. I'm talking a painting that's probably 3 foot by 5 foot or something like that. But it was only rolled. So I just rolled it up and shipped it out and told the buyer, look, I'm shipping this unrolled, unstretched, or rolled and unstretched. This is not a frame. I'm not sending you a frame. You will have to frame this yourselves. They bought it. So I think if people know that going into it, then it's fine. You know, as long as the expectations are upfront and you're honest with the customer and you tell them, hey, this is how the painting comes, then I think a lot of people are okay with that, especially if they get it at a really good deal. So, you know, where I can sell a painting of the same size that is rolled versus on a wooden frame for about half the price and still make a profit because the shipping is going to be so much less. And it's going to be such a smaller hassle because guess what? Here's all I do when I ship a rolled painting. When I have a painting on canvas that's just rolled, basically glass sign, rolled painting, more glass sign, roll it up together, tape it, put it in the tube and send it. Dude, it's like a 10-minute process. So just keep that in mind. Just wanted to share that, get this off my chest because I felt like I wanted to share this experience that I just recently had about shipping paintings, the cost of those, and the challenges of it. And just, again, share that with you guys so you have some idea of what it takes to send and sell paintings at those prices and what you have to do in order to get them to ship. So that's it. Sorry for the long rant video. Just want to share it because I felt it was helpful. So I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless. And thanks again for 4,000 subscribers. More videos coming soon. Bye, guys.